chairman of an independent investigation into conduct which includes allegations of potential coordination between the Trump campaign and the Russians, or he is going to act as a surrogate of the White House because he cannot do both.
Well, back for more. Radio talk show host Ethan Behrman and Jim Lacy. He's the author of Taxophobia and a Trump supporter. Gentlemen, thank you for coming back for round two. Ethan, to start with you, this new reporting by Pam Brown and our own Evan Perez about this information suggesting coordination between the Trump campaign and Russia. Listen, let me first of all say the investigation is ongoing by the FBI. We don't want to prejudge the outcome, but it does keep alive this question of if there is so much smoke, is there fire here?
Yeah, and that actually now confirms what FBI Director Comey said on Monday, which was that there was an active investigation during the campaign about these connections between Trump's campaign and Russia. This is very disconcerting. It is interesting to me how many people don't want to discuss the fact that we have Russia, a regime with which we are not close friends with. They are not an ally of ours, and there are apparently attempts to influence our election. Whether it changed the outcome, that's not even what we're talking about. But if there are actual attempts to influence our election, we need to get to the bottom of it.
James?
Well, you know, I mean, I think it's to the advantage of the Democrats to try and bring this forward as some sort of a big issue. But this is substantively very little. You know, this is not a case where the Russians are found to have influenced actual voting machines. There isn't any evidence at all that the Russians put money into political campaigns or bought ads. As a matter of fact, the FBI has said that the only intervention that the Russians were engaged in was this hacking at the DNC and some hacking of.
You make it sound as if the hacking is irrelevant, is not of.
Which include Republicans, by the way. Senator Graham was hacked as well.
And the fruit of the hacking was to reveal that that journalists in the Democratic Party colluded and cheated, and the journalists violated their journalistic ethics in order to help Hillary Clinton.
So you are not in and of itself troubled by the hacking in and of itself?
Donald Trump won 30 states. Hillary Clinton won 20. That's 60% of the states in the United States. Not one of those state outcomes had anything to do with revelations in these emails of John Podesta. It's an interesting story, but it didn't have anything to do with the election result.
We will not go down that rabbit hole. Instead, I will ask you about Chairman Nunes and what happened on Wednesday with his revelation about intercepted communication, which may have picked up the president and his associates. Let's take a listen to President Trump's reaction to this. Of course, he was briefed personally by Chairman Nunes. The president saying that he was very satisfied and he feels somewhat vindicated. Some would say, why do you feel vindicated? This is in no way a vindication of the tweet you put out regarding wiretapping, James.
Well, he said somewhat vindicated, and I think he pretty much summarily closed off the discussion at that point. You know, perhaps we'll see a tweet about it. I don't know if we will or if we won't. But there is, I believe, some vindication in the fact that there has been evidence now given to the head of the Intelligence Committee that our intelligence services were engaging in surveillance of people associated with Donald Trump and Donald Trump's campaign, and that the surveillance had absolutely nothing to do with foreign intelligence. And again, what's really bad about this isn't the fact that it just occurred. What's bad?
Well, because it was legal.
It was legal to do it. But what's yes, I don't deny that, and Nunes doesn't deny that. But what's really bad is that even knowing that there was no foreign intelligence value, the foreign intelligence services disseminated widely the information, and that's what Nunes said at his press conference today.
We need to get to the bottom of that.
The dissemination within the intelligence community of that information as a policy issue is a big Edward Snowden Big Brother issue that must be addressed.
Ethan, let's give you a chance to respond to that, because of course we don't know why this happened, and we don't know really the nature of this unmasking. In fact, that we were able, according to Chairman Nunes, that it was clear that it was President Trump and his associates. Respond to James.
Well, first off, President Trump tweeted that President Obama wiretapped his phones. Very clearly said that. That is not the case. There is zero evidence of it. What we do have some evidence of, which is why it's still being investigated, and I find it absolutely shocking how there's this continuing denial of the fact that a foreign power goes after our political infrastructure with hacking, and then, who cares, because it's just the other side that got hacked. It is absolutely mind-boggling to me.
All right, gentlemen, we must leave it there. You will be back this time to talk about healthcare and the upcoming vote in the coming hours on Capitol Hill. And, of course, after this quick break, we'll have more on that terror attack in London with my colleague Hannah Vaughan-Jones. Stay with us.
What's wrong with your legs?
Do you really think you can win?
Everyone knows you have